other four akwaba at the back #1 channel and news akoso any the epa ewo mine mu yekọ ne akohwehwe na papa no yaso ne so na e de abram na mehu na mate de akoso ne de epa ewo mine mu na ha Ghanatube so na mamu nim say training news akoso o Ghana ha say esese other four eten de kofa e de abram na omunso omate ndi yenkwem na ngotie yenkohwe ensem akoso any the epa ewo mine.
I think his name. Whoa. So the Boahen trial is going on, and let me just put it in proper context. So Boahen has been arrested and charged for misappropriation of state funds, etc., etc. Yeah, let me stand here so you can see Atachia's face. He's been charged for misappropriation of state funds, isn't it? Okay. Now, Boahen says he did not misappropriate state funds. That as a national security agent, they use money to do different kinds of things. And if you take the national security account, you will find that historically and almost everywhere in the world, that's how national securities work. They use classifications. So you may see that they gave money to X and they actually gave the money to Y. You may see they use money for W and they actually use it for V, etc., etc. Now, Boahen wrote a letter to the National Security Coordinator informing him that the way the trial is going to proceed, he might be compelled to breach their code by coming into court, into the witness box, to announce certain payments that had been made onto certain events that the people of Ghana, we the ordinary people of Ghana, should not really know. Because if we get to know, it might reduce the effectiveness of the national security operations. Now, when that letter was written, all hell broke loose, isn't it? So people say, Okay. Now, we know that consultations began among some current and past security heads who have run the national security for a while. We are told that those meetings perhaps are still going on, but they are all concerned about the extent of information that can be given to the general public relating to national security matters. In fact, in the acts that establish the National Signals Bureau, there's a portion there that when people go rogue as security people, there's a way in which there's an internal disciplinary system within the national security apparatus to deal with it. It is said that that section was put there in the law because it was intended to prevent, it's almost like in camera, it was intended to prevent the general public from knowing in such detail why a security person has been punished or has not been punished, what he did or what he didn't do. Because if your peers are conducting a disciplinary action, they know what the classification means. You cannot tell them, if you're talking to me, you can say anything, I will believe it. But if you are talking to your peers, they know what the classification is. So the law that Parliament passed said that when such people, those who operate the national security, go wrong, or as they put it in their terms, go rogue, you know how to punish them. It was the intention of Counsel Atachian that if indeed Boahen had gone rogue, the first people who would have called him to order, given that Boahen still works with the national security, he still works with the Signals Bureau, he's just not the director anymore because that's the prerogative of the president. But he still works with the national security apparatus, so that's a civil service job, it's not a political job. So he's still a staff. So he could have been called to order and treated according to the act that Parliament passed. Anyway, it appeared all that was went on to deaf ears. So then the trial, the case management process starts, and then the trial is about to start. At the beginning of the trial, the learned Attorney General here, Justice Sremsai, produces a document. That document is the National Security Operational Accounts, beginning 2017 and ending 2024. Observers and lawyers looked at the document and believed they could easily see where Sremsai is going. Sremsai is hoping to urge on the court that this is the correct national security operational account, and that whatever Boahen is saying, if it is not found here, then he is not being truthful to the court. That's really what Sremsai wants to do. Atachian, counsel for Boahen, says that, okay, if you have produced the national security operational account from 2017 to 2024, May I also apply
for any tea for some I also any the epa or my edica edit no and I say we need a gusu our tree and my share pan say wooty and I enjoy our a fast and some moja fair Eddie Amame our comment section. Young Gwen, near booty in some near Etwason.
for disclosure. Let me say a little bit about disclosure in the layman's word. Now, disclosure is an application that lawyers use. You can use it in a criminal trial or in a civil trial. Disclosure means that, you know, when we go to court in the Anglo-American common law jurisdiction, we know the fundamental ethos: guilty, innocent until proven guilty, and the judge is only an umpire. He's not an advocate. All of those things exist. The other thing that exists in the common law jurisdiction is that I am going to prosecute my case if I am on the defense side, and I have to bring my own documents to prosecute my case. But then what is discovery? Discovery is the process where I'm saying to the court that the thing that I need to prove my case is with him. So the court should please subpoena him to bring it. I'll give you a classic example. If I'm prosecuting somebody, and or somebody is being prosecuted, how do I say it? I'm trying to use the passport to make it simple. Okay, I'm challenging somebody that you were in America in February 2025. And it is there that you committed the crime. And then the judge tells me, how do you know that he was in America? I said that, but it is in his passport. If you take his passport, you will see that he was in America. But the passport is with him, it's not with me. So I apply for discovery. And then the judge will say that discovery application granted. Please produce your passport. That's discovery, basically, so that we can all understand it. You know, the lawyers will use big words, but we can understand it. That's fundamental what discovery is. The thing I want to use to prove my case is with you. Or murder. Knife has been used to commit murder. The knife is in your house, it's in your kitchen. So discovery, please ask him to produce every knife in his kitchen, and I will show you the one that was used to commit the murder. Something like that. That's discovery. So Atachia says that, okay, if you have produced the national security operational account, which we should not really see, but nonetheless, it will help the prosecution's case. So Justice Sremsai has produced from 2017 up until 2024. Atachia says that for me to demonstrate to the court that the national security operational account of 2017 to 2024 is no different from all the national security accounts from 1992, because that is how the national security always works. I am applying for discovery to subpoena the national security operational account from 1992 up to 2017. And he's telling the court that your lordship will notice that the operational accounts, if you can bring them here, will all look very similar. And then you can tell me whether Kwabena Boahen has done anything wrong or not. In bringing the national security operation account, one of the important critical legs on which it stands is the bank details of how monies are taken and removed from the bank and what they are used for. In any case, Kwabena Boahen is being prosecuted for how banking processes were done. He took 7 million. He took it in Ghana must go back. He went to give it to his wife. His wife went to give it to his friend, and his friend used it to buy a house, and all those charges against Kwabena Boahen. Atachia is saying to the court that if you allow my discovery application, you will find that the national security operation is the same. Let's move on. You leave that. Put that aside. Now, Atta filed the application, and this morning, the application for discovery was denied. The Attorney General argued against it, and he argued on the basis of relevance, that the document that Atta is looking for is not relevant. I'm not so sure how in criminal law a defense can be told that something they are using to defend themselves is not relevant. The defense is left to them. They can bring anything they want unless the evidence is such that it's untrue or something like that. But anyway, the irrelevance conversation seemed to have won the day unless it goes on appeal. I don't know whether it's going to go on appeal, but Sremsai's instincts to have the application for discovery to be denied won today. But then there was something very curious, extremely curious. The document that came into the court of the bank details has on it page is 1 to 46. 1 to 1.
For any tea for some I also any the epa or my edica edit no, and I say we need a gusu our tree. A measure pass a wooty and I enjoy our fast and some moja. fefe edi amame ewo comment section. Yenkwen yenguti insem no ne etwaso.
To 146. Page 1, you know when you're this document, you see 1 to 89, 1 to there, so you know that the last page is 246. But the document that is in the court, from page 1 or page 2, it jumps to page 89, the bank details. And you know how bank documents, those of you who have taken a bank document to go and collect visa before, you know how it is. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and it's sequential. It shows everything. Now, this document that has come to court, apparently, as is being told to journalists, has a whooping 75 or 74 pages missing. And that's how Atacha got livid and told the judge that what is happening? How do you have the bank details in the National Security Operations, and from page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 70 something is all not there? Could it be an oversight? Maybe it is. Could it be deliberate? I don't know. But this is the matter. And the reason why we are talking about this today, let me have the counsels and the judge again. The reason why we are talking about this today is that when we are building a democracy, as we've been doing for 35 years, certain things should not change. Governments change, elections are won, elections are lost, parliament changes, but certain things should not change. The rights of the people and the rights to a fair trial guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution should never change. Kaysel Atuforsen got a fair trial to the point where he won an appeal. The Atuforsen people were angry with Attorney General, but in terms of Efia Sewa's conduct at the trial, they never raised any issue against the judge. They were satisfied that they got a fair trial. Justice Opuni got a fair trial. Is he Justice? Mr. Opuni, Cocoa Board. He got a fair trial to the point where he even was winning Supreme Court interlocutory applications. Fair trial. The NCA people, they got a fair trial to the point where one of them won on appeal, had the Court of Appeal overturn his submission of no case, which he had lost at the trial court. So we all thought that we had come to a certain position with fair trial. It is very, very important for all those people who are young in government and those who are old in government, that certain things about the democracy, we don't touch it. You can fight, we can fight, we can. You know, when we started talking about warrant, when people are going to arrest, they don't have warrant. Have you seen that now they all have warrants? Did you listen to Lydia Donko's press conference, the CIA? He said when they went to Masoko Fijuma, they had a warrant. So they are procuring warrants before they go. It's a step in the right direction. And the fair trial is not in favor of anyone. It is in favor of all of us. When anybody is arrested in England, it does not occur to him that he will not have a fair trial. Nobody in England thinks about that. Whether you are the biggest enemy of the government, nobody in America thinks that I will not have a fair trial. Donald Trump, when he was being prosecuted under the Democrats, he was confident that he will get a fair trial. He was sure. He knew that this prosecution had been occasioned by Joe Biden. He used to call him Sleepy Joe. We cannot call him like that. He's the president of the United States of America. It's Joe Biden. So, but Donald Trump was sure that he would get a fair trial. No Ghanaian should go through a process and think and wonder and worry whether he is going to get a fair trial or not. Whether he is going to get a fair trial or not. The other day, I was with the old Attorney General, and people were asking him that you are prosecuting Kaysel Atuforsen. Why are you not prosecuting the one who gave the legal opinion on which Atuforsen relied? And I remember very well what he said. That you cannot punish an Attorney General for doing his work and offering a legal opinion. It is the way in which the legal opinion is applied is what we are dealing with. Guess who had done the legal opinion? Dominic Ayini. He had offered the legal opinion upon which the Atuforsen, part of the legs on which the Atuforsen trial was being conducted. The Attorney General of the day, belonging to an opposite political party, was being given pressure that you should add the person who did. He said, no, I can't do that. He was doing his work. As a deputy attorney general, he offered his opinion. And that's why Dominic Ayini was not prosecuted. Because an attorney general felt that you cannot prosecute somebody who is just doing his work. Those who benefited from it are the people we are looking for. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of these things that I may sound boring is because in 2000, year 2000, I've shown you the video. I don't have it today, but it's there. I can show it to you later. I was there when Rawlings was voting. I was standing side by side with him when he put his ballot in the box. And I asked him in a live interview that, who did you vote for? And he said, my vote is my secret. He had obviously voted for Professor Mills, of course. And I saw the power of the Rawlings regime. In 2002, I saw the same people who were so powerful under Rawlings regime lead demonstrations on the road. I saw it, that they were leading demonstrations on the road. One day, it was in 2000, I went to...
For any for some I also any the epa or man or any car any no and after say we need a gusu our tree and my share pass a woody and I enjoy our fast and some moja fair Eddie Amame our comment section. Young Gwen, near good tea in seminary near Etwason.
Asylum down in SUBCRIBE's office, as I used to do, to visit with him. And he had issues with Tony Edu on front page. And I was talking to him about how did he feel. He said, Paul, these things, I don't worry about it. I said, why? He said, tomorrow they will come back to me to cover their demonstration. And I said, I don't understand. He said, these politicians, but they can lose election tomorrow. There's an election this year. Do you know who's going to win? I said, I don't know. He said, yes. Tomorrow, these same people will come back to me that I should come and cover their demonstrations. I left the conversation. 2003, Tony Edu was holding a yellow gallon in the Atua Hoist group, Kwesi Price group, whatever they called it, Alliance for something or something. They were holding yellow gallons and they were demonstrating against Kufuor. And I remembered what Kuku Sechado said, that these powerful men are on the street demonstrating. So I saw that. I saw Kufuor's administration. In 2008, in the election, I was right there with Nanado, fighting for power and supporting his agenda. Mills won the election. And some of the people who had been very powerful in Kufuor's administration, I saw what happened to them. One of them, whose name I won't mention, I got a phone call from him about 10th January 2009, very early. And he said, Paul, me airport, me too quiet. Then I heard another slap. Pow! I said, hey, what's happening? Then I put the phone down. I called my head. He said, Charlie, we have to go to the airport. So and so is being attacked. This was a very powerful minister 2 months ago. I saw it. 2009. Need I say more? In the same NDC, between 2011 and 2013, we saw people fall from up to zero in the same NDC administration. I saw it. Then came the John Mahama administration. 2017, we saw people who had national security consequence fall from zero to this. The reason why that happens is because there's political change. If we continue to do it like this, the reprisals will continue. But if we set some standards, as I saw the former Attorney General do, in refusing to prosecute the Attorney General who rendered the opinion that on the basis of legal principle you can't prosecute, then we will go somewhere. This kind of prosecution, which makes the person feels that I'm getting if Kwabena Boahen has done something wrong, he goes through a trial process. The trial process, the criminal procedure will bring it out, and you can punish him. Agrada is gone to jail today, hasn't she? Unfortunately. So you don't need to do anything to put Kwabena Boahen in jail. You just have to give a fair trial, because viewers, I'm telling you, we can be sitting here and we will all go on Ghana Web one day and we will see that the president-elect has appointed Kwabena Boahen as the national security coordinator. That day may come and people's eyes will start falling off their head. The same Kwabena Boahen, we could be sitting here and we will see on Ghana Web, Edu Boahen appointed national security coordinator. They will say president-elect, speaking to the media in front of Jubilee House, announced that he has appointed Kwabena Boahen as the national security coordinator. What will happen to those who have taken him through an unfair process? What will happen? We were sitting here when we heard that Attorney General Dominic Ayeni has discontinued the matter involving Governor Esiama, former governor of the Bank of Ghana. The next day, we heard President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Esiama as the governor of the Bank of Ghana. It has happened. You don't know tomorrow, because this is politics. As for election, you can win it by 5 billion and lose it by 5 billion. In any case, have we not been in Ghana? The same people who have lost election are the same people who have won it. When Akufo-Addo lost election, they laughed at him. He is short. He can never be president. He is a Chebi man. His family, there is scarce. Dankwa didn't become president. Oforiatta didn't become president. He will never be president. He will never be. He will never be. He will never be. Today, Akufo-Addo is former president 2 terms. They say he will never be president 2 terms. 2 terms. And he won until John Maham's recent victory. The biggest victory. 2016, John Mahama lost. There were NDC people who said, it's John Mahama who has caused us a defeat. Look at the thing he was doing. Look at Dumso. Look at all these people. Look at this. Look at that. And John Mahama, dear, no. John Mahama can be president of Ghana again. Oh, MPP people said it. Today, John Mahama is president of Ghana again. So, let us all be careful. Let's keep the standards and the things that we cannot touch. Let's leave it. And let's touch the things we can touch. President can appoint his people. He will never appoint an MPP person. We are not going to ask him to appoint an MPP anybody. He has to appoint his people. He has the power. He has to deal with it. He changes holiday. Akufo-Addo came and put a 4th August there. Somebody comes and removes 4th August. No problem. But criminal procedure, let us keep it so that people don't feel that the system is working against me, because that system can come back into the hands of the person against whom it is being used. That same system. I won't say much. I'll leave it there. Let's go to the photographs of the Indian Prime Minister and then see what we got. I like the guy, man. When he spoke to Parliament, Charlie, the guy was so smooth. And this is the Indian Prime Minister being
and I'm requiring them to receive a fair was in some Michelle and now a friend, a Ghanatube so.